KOUJ 107 FM, KOUJ.org. It is the Rock of Salvation, and that was Demon Hunter with Raining Down. Man, I'm so super stoked. It's always an awesome thing when you see somebody that, well, you've known since they were just a little kid. Actually, it was like junior high, I guess it was, when I first met you guys and your whole family at Victory, and you was playing on stage and stuff a lot, and your little brother was like my bud, he was like, because he would always be there early with you guys, and I'd be setting up for youth.
Yeah.
And you sure her mic's on?
Yeah,
It didn't sound like it was.
on.
Okay. And so, I've watched you through the years, and stuff, and now you've got an album and stuff, and I knew way back then that had to be in, man, what was it, 2000, whatever?
Oh, yeah, a while ago.
I'm trying to think when those years were at Victory, but you had so much talent as a kid that was probably 12, 13 years old, which is amazing, awesome, and to see you now is like, it makes you really feel good when you see somebody that's kept going for all this time. A lot of people give up or whatever, but you're still doing it, still playing the music. So.
Yeah, still going for it,
Yeah.
going after it.
So tell me some stuff's going on. What's new? Anything new since last time you was here?
Oh, definitely. So I released an album about a year and a half ago called Illusion. It's a blues rock album. Really, honestly, since then, I haven't put out a whole lot of new music because I've really been focusing on stepping into becoming more of a music producer. That's a very big thing I'm wanting to step in, especially as a female, because there aren't a lot of women music producers in the music industry. And so I actually got involved in a music mentorship group last summer. It's called the Billboard 500 Club, and it's been really amazing because there's around 150 people in this group right now, and everyone is being mentored by this really amazing guy named Adam McInnes, who he makes a living getting TV and film placements off of his music. So he's had some pretty big placements. He's had some songs in the recent Fast and Furious movies that he produced. And so I've really been just going all in on producing music because I'm a multi-instrumentalist. So, I play guitar, I play acoustic, I play electric, I play a little bit of keys, I play drums. And so for me, it made the most sense to really step into more of a music producer role because I play multiple instruments and knew that I would be good at that if I actually invested in it, and so I decided to really give that a shot. And that's been a big thing I've been investing in, is becoming more of a producer, building my home studio so that I can be doing all of my own music from within my home, and so that I can be just sending songs out for pitching for placements, things like that, because I do want to get more involved in the TV and film side of things, but my ultimate dream is to be like a touring artist, so I'm really running after like writing new songs and just kind of getting my stuff in front of the right people, which is really amazing. Like, God has given me incredible connections through this mentorship group, and more people who are very legitimate people in the music industry are starting to hear my stuff, which is awesome. It just kind of shows me that the longer you stick with something and the more you just keep going and persevering when it feels really challenging, and you just keep investing consistently, like, especially if it's something that God is calling you to do, the right doors are going to open at the right time, and He is going to put you in front of the right people and give you the right opportunities. So, right now I'm definitely focusing on writing new songs, just because, the songs from my album, I played those for over a year, and I was like, I need to write new stuff. And so I've started to write some new, like, really upbeat blues rock feeling songs, as well as some songs that are a little more on the rock and roll side. And actually just today, just an hour ago, I actually just released a new YouTube video for a stripped version of a new song that I wrote a few months ago, and it's called Save My Soul, and I wrote it with my friend Brittany Davis, who is from Toronto, and we just wrote it through virtual Zoom sessions.
Seems like a lot of that's going on now. A lot of bands and people's collaborating through Zoom right now, and it's cool that how some things have changed because of coronavirus and stuff. We're able to venture out and do a lot more stuff through the internet, since we're not able to do stuff together. So that's helped out a lot. But you brought up something I wanted to talk about that I agree with you a million times over a million. And that's producing.
Yeah.
You do not know through of all the years I've done radio, people bring me stuff, and it would be like, man, this is a really good song, and I hear it, and I'm like, it is. I like it. It sounds good, but it's not finished.
Yeah.
It's like so many times, and people get mad at you. I mean, I've
Yeah.
gotten people's literally been mad at me for it because what do you mean it's not finished? It's not produced right.
Yeah.
It's not mixed. It's not.
Yeah.
Look, you come to me with this music and you want me to put it on air, but it's not on air quality. I don't care how
Yeah.
good the song is. You could write the best song ever written known to man, and if it's not mixed and sound right, it's not going on air anyways.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so yeah, producing is huge.
Yep.
And I agree with you. I wish more bands would like understand. I know we have technology to record at home and everything now, but get with the producer. There's a lot of great producers out there, and they get paid to make music, not good but great.
Yep.
You know, so awesome that you
Yeah.
went into that field because people need it.
Yeah.
We need it as listeners.
Yeah, you definitely have to invest the time into learning
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm still learning and growing in it and getting better and better, but that's been a really awesome thing through the whole coronavirus is I've like set up some virtual sessions with people in this mentorship group I'm in who are better producers than me, and I've set up lessons with them specifically to learn from them and to just ask them questions and have them teach me about mixing, because I'm really great at producing, but right now I'm really growing a lot in mixing. And so, because the goal would be to be doing all of that on my own so that I don't have to go through a whole bunch of other people, you know, like when I recorded my album, I had to go through someone else, I had to do it in a studio, which was like an amazing experience, but it just puts you in a better position when you're able to produce your own music because you don't have to go through a bunch of other people. You own all of the masters, you can directly pitch it to people, you know, it's just, everything is so much more accessible, so it's really worth investing learning if you're willing to put the time into it.
Yes.
You know,
Make the music great.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
you got to spend the time. You know, do the money, go to school,
Yeah.
do whatever it takes to make it sound quality for sure.
yeah,
One of your hidden talents. You was talking about getting into movies and stuff, and
yeah.
you, the last couple years have been hilarious watching your different TikToks and stuff.
I was like,
It's
what is he about to say?
like-
It's my hidden
like-
talent.
No, seriously, your comedy, it's hilarious. I mean, seriously, like you have to know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're doing this stuff, having fun with it.
Yeah.
But you have a natural talent for comedy.
Thank you.
I love it. It's like I show people work on top of the airport. I was like, look, you got to see us. I don't know what she's going to do, but it's going to be crazy. Trust me. It's like, you know, so every time I see
Yeah.
you put something out new, it's just, it's so good. It's so timely. Like it's just
Yeah.
like perfectly like it's hilarious. Like you've totally made fun of the COVID stuff. Before that, you was doing the smash ups, you know, and like
Yeah.
it is like so. I love it. So what you keep reinventing, I guess you would say,
Yeah.
and so how powerful is that to you to not just keep yourself in a box, but to venture out?
I think for me, especially when it comes to social media and like TikTok, I honestly just got on TikTok right around the time that COVID happened. And right when I got on it, I was like, I don't know why I wasn't on this before. This feels like it was like made for my personality. But yeah, I think for me, just a huge core value that I have as a person when it comes to who I am in my relationships, my friendships, my family, when it comes to even what I'm doing with music, a huge value of mine is being 100% authentic and being really real, you know? And I think, you know, I try to use my social media to show like the real sides of myself and to show people like, hey, you don't need to be taking yourself so seriously, or you don't need to, yeah, like you can lighten up a little bit, it's okay to like just be with yourself and laugh at yourself, like, and that's just, honestly, it's funny because most of the time when I'm making TikTok videos, it's when I'm taking a break from music, and I've been like staring at a screen for 4 hours, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like take a break and kind of do something really silly to
refresh
myself so that I can come back to it. And
Right.
so most of the time, and I'm just a very extroverted person too, so during the whole quarantine and everything, that has actually been super helpful for me because if I like my roommates aren't home or something like that, it's like, oh, I can entertain myself making a goofy video for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, and then I feel like I'm like sweet, I can go back to work,
Right.
which is super weird, but I think just, yeah, making people laugh, making people smile, and I don't know, like I just love showing people, like inspiring people to be authentic. And so I think that just comes through my music, it comes through, you know, when I'm playing live, I talk about it a lot. When I'm making funny videos or doing things on social media, the whole goal behind it is to inspire people to fully embrace who they really are and to be authentic.
What's some of the feedback you've gotten on it?
On the videos?
Yeah.
Oh, people love them, yeah.
I was just wondering because, you know, I think it's super cool. And like, you know, usually do it in the perfect 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, man, I wish it was time to go to work. Oh, here's something funny. You know, it's just like perfect timing and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
so,
people love them.
yeah.
And I think one of the coolest pieces of feedback I actually got from someone one time is, so I actually went on a mission trip to Uganda several years ago, and I met a girl on that trip. Her name is Leah. She's really amazing. She's actually a glass blower and is like super talented, but we just kind of stayed in touch on Facebook. And this was something that was super cool for me to hear and just inspiring is she was actually auditioning for a TV show for Netflix that was about glass blowing. And she said she was like super anxious and nervous to audition, and she had pulled up Instagram or something, and I had posted some funny video on my story or something, and she saw it right before she went into audition, and she messaged me and said, I saw this video of you just being super goofy and just like doing silly stuff and not really caring what people thought about you. And she was like, it actually made me chill out and gave me so much peace to walk into my audition. And she ended up on the show, and she's on this Netflix show now.
That's,
you know, and
super
so
cool.
that was something that was really cool to me is like, I don't know who's even watching it, but like my whole hope is to inspire people to just be fully themselves, you know, and to kind of drop the, like, yes, it's important to do things with excellence, but something God just kind of asked me a while back when I was performing live, because I would be so nervous to play live because I would want to do it perfectly and all the things, and I just felt God say, you know, what's actually your goal of playing live? Like, what do you want people to really receive from you? And I was like, okay, I would just want people to receive like inspiration and to feel inspired to fully embrace themselves and to be authentic. And he was like, okay, so your goal isn't actually to be perfect. Your goal is to actually inspire people to embrace themselves even when they feel imperfect. And so that actually was really cool, because now when I play live, I'm not focusing on trying to perform perfectly, because I've had so many moments where I've actually messed up live, or I've just done funny things like dropped my pick in my guitar, can't find it after a song, and then that literally happened at my album
Look at
release
her, I'm like, I'm not this sorry.
No, that actually happened at my album release show.
Really?
I dropped it in my guitar, and I literally couldn't find it, and I was getting towards the end of the song, and I was like, I need my pick for the next song, like, can't play the song without it, so, like, what am I gonna do? So I just finished the song, and then I just, like, look at everyone, and I'm like, so I just lost my pick, and I can't find it, so, you know, if anyone wants to help me. And it was really funny, because one of my friends, like, hopped up on stage and saw it and found it, and, like, everyone was just laughing. And so for me, when I see people play live and I see them be really authentic or even just laugh if they mess up, like, I actually feel inspired, because I'm like, oh, they're being 100% themselves, and they're not actually so concerned with performing perfectly. Like, they're just trying to be fully themselves, and that's more inspiring to me than someone just playing perfectly.
You know, I do this show live every Sunday night here on the Backstage Show, but I've started over the last, I don't know, it's been about 2 months now. On Saturday night, I do a hip-hop show. But I pre-record, I voice check it here, voice track it here before I do this show for the Saturday night. And, you know, I can always go back and stop record. I don't like that or whatever. But some of the bloopers or whatever, I leave in there. Because that's who I am. And so when you're talking about authentic, I could make it totally perfect where everything's perfect, whatever. But as today, there was something I messed up on, and I said, yeah, I'm leaving that. I said, because first I want people to think it's live, and it's real. This is like, you know, if everything's too perfect, too planned, we talked about that, me and the way I do my show here even. A lot of DJs, they do a lot of prep, this and that, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but when I do that, it don't sound real.
Yeah,
I said, so
exactly.
I like going into it, knowing what I got made, what I'm going to do, but then just let it flow. And that's 99% of my interviews. Like, I don't do the same old questions. Hey, where'd you get this, that you get from the radio? I want to. That's the reason why I call it the backstage show.
Yeah.
I just want it to be like you're hanging backstage, you're hanging out, and like
Yeah.
you was really just talking to somebody, you
Exactly.
know. And I
Yeah.
think it comes across, as you said, more authentic than just a script of questions. I have a lot of bands say like, "Hey, can you give me a list of questions?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to do that. And they was like, wow, I need to prepare. And I said, no, because then it's a prepared answer.
It's not a
It's,
real
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's, you know, and I've learned that again doing it since the 90s. You know, it used to be that way. And I was like, no, I want the backstage show to
Yeah.
be a backstage conversation.
Mhm.
You're just hanging out with a band.
Yeah, and I think that's
Mhm.
really important because I think people need to see and experience that people are human,
Mhm.
you know? And that's something even, like, I'm an artist, but when I see other artists, that's something that I even wish, which is starting to happen more because people are making more documentaries and, like, the internet is so much more accessible for, you know, social media for people to show more of their lives, people who are celebrities, different things like that. But that's something I kind of wished when I was a teenager is, like, I wish that artists would be more human, like would show their humanity a little bit more, you know, because I think that's really important, especially for other artists or just people pursuing their dreams in general, to see, oh, this is what I've actually gone through. These are the challenges I faced. These are, you know, the experiences I've had that have made me who I am today. Because I think a lot of times there is kind of just this, oh, that person just made it overnight, or that person just became successful immediately, or this or that, you know, whatever field people are dreaming about going into, you know, I think that happens a lot. And that's why I really try to push when I'm playing live or through my social media or different things, I try really hard to show my humanity in a lot of ways, because not only do I want people to feel like they're actually connected to me as a person and that I'm not just this artist far off in the distance doing whatever, you know, who isn't very relatable or approachable, but I want people to see that I'm a human being. I want them to actually know the challenges and the things I've gone through in order to get to where I am today as a person. And because sharing that with people, it actually encourages people to go after the things they're dreaming about, because then they see you and they're like, oh, this person is just like me. They've literally gone through the same time.
Right.
They've experienced the same discouragement. They've had people tell them they can't do it. They've gone through financial issues. They've had all these things happen. And it just, I don't know, it helps people to feel more connected in general. And it really encourages and inspires people to go after the things that they're dreaming about and that God is calling them to do, because then it actually shows them, like, you're capable of doing this. You know, I don't have some superpower where, like, I'm immune to whatever. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because most times people's looking at highlight reels.
Yeah.
They're only seeing, you know, bands on stage in arenas or playing, you know, and they're like, man, they did it overnight, and they're like, and you talk to those bands, they're like, dude,
yeah,
I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. I got laughed off stage, you know,
exactly.
you know, this and that, whatever. And, you know, it's like, no, this is not an overnight deal. This was years of training. You were doing junior high, you know, at Victory, you know, stuff. And it just don't, everything comes with perseverance and obedience to the craft. You know, you always gotta, obviously us in the Christian world, we do a lot of prayer, a lot of God, and, you know, and a lot of frustrations. You're like trying to live up to one standard and do this here, so it's kind of a double deal. So when we're real about it, we show people, it's like, look, I'm not just an artist, I'm a Christian, and I fail daily.
Yeah.
You know, don't put me on and I tell people all the time, don't put me on a pedestal or whatever, and don't believe what I say in the Bible. I'm like, you can hear it, but go fact check it. You know, it's like, if I say a Bible verse and say my meaning to it or whatever, I said, don't just go with what I say because you hear me on the radio or hear me on stage at church.
Yeah.
I said, get in the book yourself and go find it yourself. Go study it.
Yeah.
Because you got to search. Everything's got to be done in your time, you know. And so push forward. Beat the stumbling blocks out your way, because they're going to keep coming, obviously. So let's hear some music.
Okay.
What kind of song you got for us today?
So the first song I will play for you guys, it's called Save My Soul, and I actually just released a YouTube video of this today, like an hour ago.
Right.
And this is a song that I actually wrote several months ago about domestic violence. I actually wrote it after I saw the movie Judy, about Judy Garland, because it kind of exposed things that happened behind the scenes to her as a teenage actor, and how she actually kind of went through some emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, and things like that behind the scenes. And after I wrote this, or after I watched this movie, I was so moved by it that I just started writing a song about domestic violence. And it was pretty crazy because one of my friends, her name is Faith Hornby, and she actually played trumpet on my album. She works at a center in Redding, California called One Safe Place, which is a center that supports victims of domestic violence. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I just started writing a song about domestic violence. I showed it to her because she was kind of wanting to put some events together and had talked to me about playing a song there, but I was like, I haven't written a song about domestic violence, so I'd have to write one, you know, and this one actually just ended up happening out of inspiration, which was cool. But so obviously during the whole COVID thing, all of the events got shut down. So she actually decided she was going to put together a virtual benefit show that was going to be pre-filmed. And she asked me to be a part of that and to play this song on it, since it was specifically about domestic violence. And so we actually released that benefit show today, like a couple hours ago. And for people who go onto Facebook and watch that video under One Safe Place in Shasta County, they're taking donations, and all of the proceeds are going to help support victims of domestic violence. But not only that, in writing this song, I actually realized it was incredibly relevant to what's happening in the country right now. Because not only did I write this song, I actually co-wrote this song with a friend of mine named Brittany Davis, who is in Toronto. And Brittany Davis is a black female. I'm a white female. We wrote this song together, and it's literally about a person experiencing what it's like to be trapped in violence, you know? And so originally it was like, yeah, we're doing this song for this benefit show. And then when everything started happening over the past couple weeks, I realized we could not be releasing this video at a more relevant time, because this is so incredibly relevant and speaks to what people in the black community have experienced for years and are experiencing in our country right now. And so, yeah, so that's the first song I'm going to play, and kind of just like my hope in releasing that video today and even just playing this song is that people would be moved by it into like compassion and empathy for what people who have experienced domestic violence or even racism, what that feels like, you know, even though I haven't experienced that. But yeah, so that's kind of what this song is about.
Cool. Let's hear it.
You paint my face happy, colors bright and bold, dress me up real pretty, say I better not unfold, so I keep my mouth shut, stories untold. I need somebody, I need somebody to save my soul, to save my soul. Ooh. Trapped in your prison, handcuffs on my wrist, take what I'm giving, with a zip on my lips. You Save my soul.
All right, awesome, very good, very good. I like that. So that's the. Okay, you got to say stripped down version. So obviously there's got to be another version of it out there, right?
Yeah, so there's actually a version that I'm producing right now that
Okay.
is a full version, and it's definitely very different than the stripped version. Like the stripped version is just me on electric
Right.
playing it. The full version has electric guitar in it. It's very electric driven, but it also has a lot of pop cinematic type of sounds in it as well. So it has a lot of electronic kind of like stomps, tambourines, chain sounds, and then the choruses really come in with a lot of really cool cinematic type of sounds. And the bridge section where I'm singing the "Save My Soul," "Can Anybody Hear Me," "Are You Deaf to the Silence I Speak," or "I Scream," in that section we actually have choir vocals come in as well. So
Wow.
I have like my own background choir vocals come in, but then Brittany actually sent me choir vocals, and she has a lot of different choir vocals come in. So it really amplifies into this whole thing at the end where it starts to sound like a lot of people actually singing it and like giving out this cry, you know? So
Cool.
it's definitely much more of a full version.
So I guess my next question would be is when do we get it here?
I haven't figured that out yet. I've been really trying to get the song to a very high quality
Right.
place, and because I'm producing it myself, I'm still working on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully in the very near future, people will
But
be
you're
able
sending
to...
it to us here at the station, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
You know.
let's just make sure. Well, you brought a friend with you today.
I did.
As well.
Yes.
Do you want to come over here real quick? And because, as we know now, you have a boyfriend and he's in a band as well.
I do.
So we got two, actually, I guess we got an artist and a band in studio. Go ahead and talk about your band too.
We are an indie alternative rock band. We're Christian based.
Uh-huh.
Our album Clockwork came out 2 years ago. Trying to remember what songs we got on it. I should know. I believe 8 songs.
Mm-hmm.
We've had one playing on the Effect Radio, kind of more local to our area of Red Bluff, California. That got up to number 3 right before the new year.
What song was it?
Dreams.
Dreams?
Yeah,
Is it
that's great.
off of what you sent us, or?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Because there was a couple songs I liked on there. Actually, my song I like is Fires.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Fires, too.
Yeah, because we was sampling and listening earlier and see what would be radio play or whatever, and I really dug Fires. But you said Dreams was a single?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I like Fires.
Fires. It was really funny. So we're at this festival in
Uh-huh.
Quincy called Joshua Fest. We got
Mhm.
tons of bands out there. When this album came out and we were at that festival, we had like Fortina Country, Spoken, and
Right.
tons of people that are put up in the studio here. Got to meet those people. It was great. But at the same time, the album released like almost same day as the fires
Right.
started. So it came out and we performed it there, and we got to like pray over the crowd, just with the fires that were starting over that weekend.
Mhm.
And it was just great. And then, like, the song had actually been like written years ago, but with it being produced and put out just at that time, it was great to be able to connect with the crowd over it and share that song with them.
Cool. Yeah, because like I said, we were listening earlier, and I said, man, I really like Fires. It's got a cool groove to it, and definitely, that's what we were talking about. I said, that's definitely a radio quality song that was on the album that I like.
Thank you.
Just because it had different dimensions, but it flowed. You know what I mean? Like, you could hear the different things going on, but everything was just smooth. I loved right the beginning, the bass line, everything and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but we could play Dreams, but
Yeah.
would you rather play Fire?
It is all up to you.
Doc, what are we going to play? Let's see. He's putting it up there. All right. Let's. I felt almost wrong. It's almost manipulating.
They're
It's
all
like-
great songs. They're
No.
all great songs.
He's like, I want to play Dreams. He's okay. He's getting it set up there for us. But cool. So I guess you're originally from California as well, or did you?
I grew up in
migrate?
Oregon. My family, we all moved to California. We used to own a music store, and
Okay,
it
sweet.
just happened to open up when the economy was crashing, and ended up having to close it. And we just moved to California to be with family.
Cool. Awesome. Well, you got one of our greats moved up there and met her, Kayla. I'm pretty partial to her because, you know, of all the bands I've got to hang out and stuff, you know, she was one of my buds way
Yeah,
back in junior
yeah.
high, you know, back when I was doing Youth Ministry of Victory, so it's pretty cool. And she's got some really cool parents too, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been great getting to meet everyone.
Dennis is like a superstar. That guy is super cool. There is no way anybody on this planet cannot like Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, I hope he's listening because he's my bro. That's my buddy.
Yeah.
We go way back. You know, but it's super cool. And we're almost out of time, so we better play some music. Flagship Armada fires on KOUJ 1071, KOUJ.org. Yeah, this song was listening, I was like, man, this is a cool tune.
So, reason why I kind of keep
I
live
actually work
interviews
part-time
and
for a radio
stuff,
station.
especially with the playing guitar
I
and
do
stuff.
have
You gotta keep the needles in a certain spot.
and you can find that half to get on there, and it's all like, what they're talking about.
You wanna
What do
try
you
to
think about
keep
that?
it
And I'm all like,
as
what?
close to
I'm like,
that
that's not
needle
what
as
I'm
possible.
all like, catch me totally off guard.
Right.
Yeah.
KOUJ 1071 FM, KOUJ.org. It is the Rock of Salvation. That was Flagship Armada with Fires. A cool tune. Definitely dig it. So glad you got to bring it up to us. And I cannot believe, I'm looking at the time, it's already 7:43. The show's over. Doc's like, dude, there's so much. That's what I love about live interviews. You know, you do is what's supposed to be like a 30 to 40 minute, and you're like 45 minutes into it, like, oh, we got to wrap it up. That's
Yeah.
because we just got started.
I love
Like-
talking to people too,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, I need to stop talking because I will just
No,
keep talking.
these interviews are awesome for me. They become real simple.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
when I got a band, I'm like sitting there and you're dragging it out of them, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I really don't have that problem here on the backstage show very much. Oh, he's so like talking to the mic. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not picking you up at all. So.
But man, I'm so glad you got to come out here and be a part of this.
I know, yeah.
Anytime
Thanks for having us
that
there.
you let me know when you're coming into town or whatever, and we would
Yeah.
definitely. You know what we need to set up? I don't know when you're coming back in, but there's another reason why we call this the backstage show.
Yeah.
Is because we got a stage just right over here with the church there, and maybe next time you're down, you can set up and let's do a live show here.
That'd be awesome.
Because we can, we got all the cameras and everything and stuff. We'll
Yeah.
put it all on social media,
Yeah.
and maybe when you come back down, we'll set it up and you can invite the family and friends out and everybody, and we'll just do a live show.
That'd be awesome.
How's that sound?
I'd be down to do that for sure. It'd
Cool.
be an honor.
So when you coming back down?
Probably Christmas.
I knew it was around Christmas because I'm
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just making sure you got to plan things out.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Seriously, if you guys are doing something around that time,
Yeah.
let me know.
Um,
be awesome.
Yeah, we can set it up to, we'll set it up and do an acoustic set or whatever, and
Yeah.
have you come out and do something live.
Yeah,
Me too. If we do it around Christmas, you gotta do Christmas songs. So,
Yeah, maybe.
I'm
I could
just-
put my own spin on
Well,
some
that's
current Christmas
that's kind of what I was
songs.
saying. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Anytime I get to hang out with you and your family stuff, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Of course. So we'll definitely set something like that up.
Cool.
And maybe have Flagship come down with you and do like a full band, kind of concert. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only got 6 months. Can't do it like on the 12th. I'll be in another country, but we'll work that out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Man, before we go, can we pray real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Father God, I thank you so much for Kayla and her boyfriend coming down. Father God, I pray that you'll just keep a hedge of protection over them and their families as well, Father God, especially while they're traveling through different states, and just be with them and keep them safe, Father. As they going through this, Father, I pray for creativity, that you just keep breaking them each and every day and building up new and exciting things for them, Father. I pray that you just be with them and carry them and bless them. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we're ending it out. You going to finish out a song for us?
You want me to?
Yeah.
You want me to play another one?
Yeah, you can finish it out, and that's why
Okay.
we'll close the show like that. All right, this is KOUJ 1071, and this is Kayla with...
This is a new song
Okay.
I just wrote a few months ago as well. It's called
So new.
Livewire.
Can you remember it?
I know, I was like, what did I name this? I've been having these problems a lot. It's called Livewire. It's kind of a blues, rock and roll feeling song. So
Cool. And here it is.
They say I'm a dreamer, stuck out on the street. Got my head too high in the clouds, I won't ever land on my feet. But I'm a hot-headed believer, got that spark in my eye. You can say what you want about me, but I won't ever let my passion die. 'Cause I'm always lit, I don't ever turn out. A blazing fire, I don't ever burn out. Get in my way, and baby, I'll knock you right off your feet. 'Cause baby, I'm a live wire. Don't get too close. Touch me, and you'll catch fire. From your head to your toes. Ooh, come at me and you'll see. Shock you with that electricity. Get in my way and I'll knock you right off your feet. 'Cause baby, I'm a live wire. They say I'm a popper with my worn out shoes. Ain't got a dime in my pocket, so maybe I should give up on singing them blues. But I'm a red hot showstopper, a rare kind of breed. You can think what you want about me, but I'ma play until my fingers bleed. 'Cause I'm always lit, I don't ever turn out. A blazing fire, I don't ever burn out. Get in my way and baby, I'll knock you right off your feet. Baby, I'm a live wire. Don't get too close. Touch me and you'll catch fire. From your head to your toes. Ooh, come at me and you'll see. Shock you with that electricity. Get in my way and I'll knock you right off your feet. Baby, I'm a live wire. I'm always lit, I don't ever turn out. A blazing fire, I don't ever burn out. Get in my way and baby, I'll knock you right off your feet. Yeah, baby, I'm a live wire. Don't get too close. Touch me and you'll catch fire. From your head to your toes. Ooh, come at me and you'll see. Shock you with electricity. Get in my way and I'll knock you right off your feet. Baby, I'm a live wire.
you go. Brand new music there from Miss Kayla Nichols. Well, he gives us food to eat, air to breathe, and rock and roll to listen to. But before we do all that, Doc, see, I was just wondering, you never looked over. I always start the show in prayer, you always end it.
Well, I wasn't sure if you wanted to pray again since you just prayed.
I know, I was kind of thinking about that, but then I thought, no, I prayed over them, so pray the show out.
All right. Heavenly Father, just thank you for another awesome show, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to be able to come and do this every week and hope honor you, Lord, and glorify you with the music we play and the topics we talk about, Lord. I just pray that you just keep everybody safe throughout the week, Lord, and that you'll bring us back again next week. Again, we love you and praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, he gives us food to eat, air to breathe, and rock and roll to listen to. This is KOUJ 1071, KOUJ.org.